Hello, group. Welcome to Action Rock Corner. I'm your host, Richard May. Today, one of the first English punk bands from the mid-70s, Eater. Wasting Time, the Lost 1978 Sessions. You get 4 tunes. One has never been released, the title track, Wasting Time. Other 3 have been released before, but they're alternate takes. I don't mean this to throw shade. I really love these 4 songs. They're really good. Wasting Time, new release. It was done in 78, basically, as I'll explain. Point of View, alternate version. What She Wants, that's how it reads on this release, alternate version of that. It originally was released as What She Wants, She Needs. That's the original title that you may well know it as if you're familiar with Eater. And you're more familiar with Eater if you know that than I am. And Typewriter Babies, another alternate version. So, all I knew this band from, because I just figured, well, it's a band that I just lost track of. Must have been a band with some fans back in the 70s, early 80s. Must have been in the punk section. I never really wandered into the punk section. Just fell on my memory. That isn't what happened. They formed in 76. And all of them were still in school. High school, basically, in the English school system. They're schoolboys still. And so in their first run, when they released their one record, they were together 76 to 79. Broke up right after they did these songs that never was finished. The only reason I was familiar with the band was they have a number on this. Anarchy on Abbey Road, a Beatles tribute. I reviewed this a short while ago. And Eater has one of the songs here, among other more established punk rock bands. And what do I know? Fine. They're a band. People know them. Got a track on this. But the track here is a recent recording of the one leader of the band, taking up the name, does something. No, that's the song that he covers. George Harrison's song, Something. Something, the way she moves, blah, blah, blah. He does that song for this collection. Fine. Okay. And, new release. I can check this out. It's on YouTube, of course. It's about the only thing you can find on YouTube from Eater. The other things about eating and Eater this and Eater that. But only one, apparently, from this band called Eater. This release, and that's it, as far as I can see. There's other compilations and whatnot of the original band and whatever. but this is all you got. This is all I'm going by. I couldn't find anything else. And I really shouldn't be trying to compare this to what was released before, because what came before, if you know what came before, of course you could compare it to this. But as a newbie to Eater, the fair thing to do is listen to this album, this EP, these 4 songs, 13 and a half minutes, and what do I think? I love it. I kept the last 2 songs, What She Wants, She Needs, and I kept Typewriter Babies. I'm not sure what they're talking about in Typewriter. I couldn't find lyrics. So I'm not sure what they're referring to about Typewriter Babies. Being a guy that spent some time in a typewriter in the old days, in the 20th century, typewriters is now relegated to the 20th century. Anyone under 20 is going to look at me strange, look at us strange, referring to typewriters. What? What are you talking about? Keyboards? Talk about a keyboard? Yes, in a way. So, what they did with it, I didn't get to the point yet. This does not sound like punk songs. This sounds power pop. Now, after the first flush of punk, there are a number of punk bands that evolved into pop bands. One of the members of Eater did in fact join up with Glenn Matlock from the Sex Pistols in one of Glenn Matlock's post-Pistols projects. And it kind of sounds like this to a point. Power pop. And that's good. Power pop is good. Power pop's not punk. You may have punk rock cred, but if you're doing power pop, it's power pop. A lot of punk bands evolved into becoming rock bands. People forget U2, the band, started as a punk band. Not considered a punk band anymore. Talking Heads was absolutely a punk band. We don't consider Talking Heads a punk band anymore. And so on. R.E.M. was a punk band in the beginning. They're not now. P-52s was not now. Cyberpunk became something else. Eater was evolving, according to what I read of the early material, was definitely evolving into something else. Mind you, this is not absolute 1978 product. They got the tapes in last year in 2024. Then they finished up the tapes. And then they added to the tapes, allegedly only vocals. I heard of you a bit of keyboards in here. Keyboards are not really in punk. A few years after 1978, boy, keyboards was everywhere. Oh God, it was bad. We're talking synths, not keyboards, but synths, synthesizers. They ruined a lot of careers. If you were there, you know. You don't know? Keep it that way. Don't listen to Blackfoot after the certain record and then that's it. Don't listen after that. And many other bands. Yeah. A lot of 70s bands was ruined by synths. Beginning in 80 blah. Some people would claim CC Top is the poster child for that. Discuss. So, what I'm saying is, if you think you're going to get punk, this is if you're in the mood to listen to like, the Cars, Cheap Trick, New Wave. This is damn tasty stuff with there's some balls to it. Okay? It's not totally pop. Well, it is pop. It's got some balls to it so the guys can sign on. And the lyrical viewpoint. Wasting time is the need to ditch a girl because you're wasting time with her. Get a new girl. Point of view is about having a point of view. No lyric sheet, couldn't figure it out. If it's just about, it's about people lacking a point of view, perhaps. What she needs is about a selfish girl. Pretty standard pop material. Typewriter babies. I don't know what they're referring to. It may well be about relationships. And that would be good. I kept the song. I love the song. So, you definitely hear the T-Rex in this. Because they got their name Eater from an early T-Rex lyric. Mark Bolan lyric. T-Rex, eater of whatever it is. So, eater, comes from old glam rock from the 70s. And you're hearing a bit of glam rock, 70s glam rock here. And a touch of what would become new wave and power pop. Of course, power pop is more of a 60s matter. By the 70s, power pop was dying out. I liked my power pop. But yeah, you get bored with it after a while. So, it's really tasty. It's really good. The vocals are allegedly from last year, whatever vocals you hear. So, with this out in 78, this came out in 78. If these four made a commitment saying, okay, let's take this on the road, let's get a major label, let's go make a career, they had a shot. Make 6 more of these songs. Get 6 more of these together. Not just 4, but 6. Get 10 songs. 10 songs, 36 minutes. 37, maybe 40 at the max. See what the world thinks. I think they had a shot. It's a really tasty 4 songs, and I think they had another 6 in them. If they had those 4, they had another 6 in them. You could have done some business. Alongside, your Cars. It wouldn't be in the punk section anymore. Eater would be for the people buying the Cheap Trick records and the Cars. Who I'm forgetting. Those bands. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Those bands. They could have been the same people buying that would be buying this and saying, oh, this is great. It might have been. But for whatever reason, those four lads, barely out of their teens, just went, no, don't think so. And many of them went on to other bands, other projects. And bless their heart, hopefully they're satisfied with their choice from how many years ago? A lot of years. When I had hair. This is when I was junior year of high school. A long time ago. With a little bit of 2024 polish added to it. Would they have done it the same way in 1978? Who knows? And of course, like I said, I haven't heard the three other songs other than Wasting Time. What did they sound like in their original versions? I don't know. But that's either here nor there. That's the kind of fun part for us rock geeks, try to, could this old shifted units back in 78, 79, could this be rule beaters here? Doesn't matter. What I'm here to say to you is, go on YouTube, type in Eater, Wasting Time, the lost 1978 sessions. He'll give it to you. That's where I found this. Is this fun right now in 2025? Yes, it is. They're cool songs in 2025, which is what is important. And never mind if it's truly punk or whatever. They're great songs. They're fun songs. Listen to them and enjoy them. And you got some scratch in your pocket. I'm sure it's on vinyl somewhere to buy. Your 13 and a half minutes, 13 minutes and 35 seconds of new wave, power pop, whatever it is. And I think you will like it. I think you should try it. You're in the mood for some power pop, some new wave, pop, commercial kind of songs with some cojones. There's some cojones in there. But the girls won't run away. The girls will like it. The mother of your children. Whatever your status is today, the females, your daughters, will not run away when you play this in public, okay? With others in the room. It's nice. I chose the word. The word's out there. It's better than nice, but in terms of having a young lady in your room, it's qualified to be played in mixed company. Is this fair comment? I think so. So, one more time. Burn Eater. Wasting Time with a G. See? There's a G in race. If it was really punk, it wouldn't be a G. It'd be wasted. Apostrophe after the end. That's rock and roll. That's punk. That's metal, but no, they put a G in there. That's new wave. That's, they're satisfying their teachers. We can spell, look at us. They spelled their song with a G. Good for them. Because I guess as a unit, they were just graduating school at the time. But you gotta make your choices. Go to university, whatever. One of them, I believe, became, or at least I forget the teach. One actually became professor, still is professor. Leading authority on food and food ethics or something like that. Important. I guess. Food's important, as I'll mention in a minute. If you like this video, bless your heart. Give it a like. Subscribe to the channel. I can find you more stuff with some cojones, even as a little bit pop and new wave. There's cojones. Get some punk cojones to this. There's a bit of that. Subscribe. Ring the notification bell and know when the next video is coming out, and leave a comment. What do you think of the new, improved, refined Eater from 1978? You have a polish, spit polish applied to it. What do you think? Your opinion counts too. But I'm the one with the video. Bless my heart. And for the latest in action rock, garage rock, and classic and legacy bands, you come back here to Action Rock Corner. We got it for you. And remember, fresh music is as important as fresh food. I think it was the old drummer of theirs. Was he the drummer? The food ethics guy. Or something about food. Don't quote me. I should have taken better notes. I didn't know I would want to even refer to that. So I didn't write down a note. Good for them. Get your education. It's a more stable career for the guy who became the professor. We know that for a fact, don't we? Just about. Unless you become Paul McCartney. It's more stable than going to academics. It's a more stable paycheck. It gets important when you become middle-aged and later. So anyways, the point is, fresh music is as important as fresh food. Listen to something fresh today. And my recommendation is Eater. Wasting time. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again soon. Have fun with your music. Bye.